Hey, hello, welcome to the Bible in 5 years. My name is Armando. We are reading the Bible in chronological order, and it's going to take us a while. Remember, this project podcast for people who have never read the Bible, they don't know what the Bible says, or they're not familiarized with the Bible, and it's okay. We're not going to criticize you here, not at all, because this project podcast is for you, and for me too. Yes, let's change the music so we can do a reading of today. See if this other song works today for the reading. It is working. Day 528. The death of Asahel. Asahel, I'm going to call it. 2 Samuel chapter 2 from verse 18 to the end. Also chapter 3 and verse 1. So it's only a little verse from chapter 3. Joab, Abishai, and Asahel, the three sons of Zeruiah, were among David's forces that day. Asahel could run like a deer, and he began chasing Abner. He was relentless and single-minded in his pursuit. When Abner looked back and saw him coming, he called out, "Is that you, Asahel?" "Yes, it is," he replied. "Go fight someone else," Abner warned. "Take on one of the younger men and strip him of his weapons." But Asahel refused and kept right on chasing Abner. Again, Abner shouted to him, "Get away from here. I will never be able to face your brother Joab if I have to kill you." But Asahel would not give up. So Abner thrust the butt end of his spear through Asahel's stomach, and the spear came out through his back. He stumbled to the ground and died there. And everyone who came by the spot stopped and stood still when they saw Asahel laying there. When Joab and Abishai found out what had happened, they set out after Abner. The sun was just going down as they arrived at the hill of Ammah near Giah, along the road to the wilderness of Gibeon. Abner's troops from the tribe of Benjamin regrouped there at the top of the hill to take a stand. Abner shouted down to Joab, "Must we always solve our differences with swords? Don't you realize the only thing we will gain is bitterness toward each other? When will you call off your men from chasing their Israelite brothers?" Then Joab said, "God only knows what would have happened if you hadn't spoken, for we would have chased you all night if necessary." So Joab blew his trumpet, and his men stopped chasing the troops of Israel. All that night, Abner and his men retreated through the Jordan Valley. They crossed the Jordan River, traveling all through the morning, and they did not stop until they arrived at Mahanaim. Meanwhile, Joab and his men also returned home. When Joab counted his casualties, he discovered that only 19 men were missing, in addition to Asahel. But 360 of Abner's men, all from the tribe of Benjamin, had been killed. Joab and his men took Asahel's body to Bethlehem and buried him there beside his father. Then they traveled all night and reached Hebron at daybreak. That was the beginning of a long war between those who had been loyal to Saul and those who were loyal to David. As time passed, David became stronger and stronger, while Saul's dynasty became weaker and weaker. All right, that is the end of our reading today. This is the Bible in 5 years. We're reading the Bible in chronological order, and it's going to take us a while to do all this reading. But that's okay, because we read verses here. We don't read chapters. We read from 3 verses up to 30 verses, and sometimes 30 verses feels like a long reading too. But we're trying to do the best we can. So we're trying to keep it short and sweet so we remember what we read. That's right. And know that this project podcast is for people who have never read the Bible. They don't know what the Bible says, or they're not familiarized with the Bible, and it's okay. We're not going to criticize you here, not at all. This project podcast is for you and for me too. Maybe you have questions about the Bible. Maybe you have heard comments about the Bible, and you're wondering and you want to know. So the only way to know about something is going to the source and find out. Well, listen to the stories. If you don't want to read the Bible, maybe you don't have time, or you find it boring or complicated or difficult, well, listen to the stories. And eventually, when you listen enough stories, maybe the whole reading of the Bible, I don't know, and then you maybe make your own mind. You can start listening here a few of the stories, maybe for a whole year, and then maybe you can switch to other programs. There's other people who have the Bible in 1 year. They read way a lot more than we do. But if you have good retention and you like to hear a long story and then maybe you retain it, that's maybe the way of going about it. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to stop you from it. I can anyways. But you do whatever you want. But I'm just trying to kind of inform you a little bit. And so if you're in a hurry, there's the Bible in 1 year. There's plenty of those podcasts out there about the Bible in 1 year. I particularly enjoy one from it's a fry, Mike Schmidt. Very good. It's one of the best, I believe. Mike Schmidt. It's a fry, a Catholic fry, and in Spanish we call him fraile. Like a monk, That is, the guy is young. I mean, I'm an adult and all, but very good. He reads really good. His stories are excellent. I mean, just reads from the Bible, from the Catholic Bible, but it's the same Bible. I mean, he does a really great job. So, go find out if you're in a hurry. If you're not in a hurry, stick around with us. All right, that's about it. Remember, if you want to enter heaven, it's only through the faith in Jesus Christ, Son of God. See you tomorrow.